So in your 20s, I mean, I didn't read when I was a young person, but did you have any authors you liked, or did you just, what kind
Um,
of stuff did
I
you
used to
read?
read quite a lot when I was in prison. Robert Ludlum, read through quite a lot of the
Yeah,
Bourne
they're
trip, all
popular.
those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, can't Lord of the Rings, did all that.
Hmm.
Uh, used to read sort of classics if I could.
Yeah.
Uh, things like Dracula, Frankenstein, Mary Shelley, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, read quite a bit.
So as it's coming closer to your release, you're thinking, all right, I messed up. Gonna have to make some lifestyle choices. Don't want to go back to this. Look at the shit, the stress it's put my family through.
Yeah, exactly. Which it did. A lot of stress,
Yeah.
a lot of grief.
So how long did that last? That thought process
Which?
that you were going to rehabilitate and not
Oh,
go back to
okay.
crime.
Obviously not very long. No, it did. It did. I mean, having seen what it put my mother through, particularly and my dad, my father, and everyone around me, sister, everything, it wasn't fun, and I felt really bad about that.
Yeah.
And so decided to decided that when I got out, I'd set up a painting and decorating company because I'd trained to be a painter and decorator at Gloucester
Yeah.
prison. And my father was a builder anyway, so I sort of had some experience with it already.
Yeah.
And my father said, whilst he's doing the building work, he would push on the painting work to me. So it was,
Hmm.
I had jobs set up, ready to go, really.
Yeah.
So that's what I did when I got out. But here's the but. I did say, well, basically, I remember one Sunday I was reading the Sunday Times because I used to get that delivered once a week because it would take you a week to read it anyway. And I came across this article about a seizure of cocaine that these guys had basically they'd impregnated a load of patio furniture, a lot of white garden furniture,
Yeah.
plastic garden furniture with cocaine, and brought in a container load of it, which got seized probably because of an informant. And this had happened not long after 9/11. So I don't know whether you remember around that time, a lot of passengers, mules, and people like that were getting arrested at airports as a subsequent, what's the word? Because of the increased security
Yes.
levels. So I quickly saw that, the future importing cocaine wasn't in blocks or in powder because the amount of security and technology that they now have to detect that is, it just makes it basically almost impossible to do
Yeah.
unless you're paying people off. So,
So you had a eureka moment.
yeah, kind of. So I see this and I think, well, God, if I'm going to do anything when I get out, that's what I'm going to do. I'll go and find a source of the cocaine in South America, cut out all the middlemen. Just the business head is kicked in completely. And source cocaine in South America, put it into plastic or rubber, and bring it into Britain, back process it, and sell it.
People are going to be like, what did he do? Did he just pick up the phone and call South America? How did he get this
Kind of. I at that time in Perkins, I had a couple of my co-defendants with me from the first case,
Yeah.
and one of them was the connection that I had to the guys up in London.
Mm.
So I went and spoke to him and said, look, when we get out, would you be interested in putting me in contact with some people up in London who could get us a source with some Colombians who could then source the coke in South America?
Yeah.
And he hummed and hawed and said, I'm not sure, he's a bit older than me. He didn't want to come back to prison, understandably. And I said, well, look, have a think about it. Let's see what happens when we get out. It's not going to be initially anyway, whatever, because I don't really want to go back into that life anyway. But if it, when the day comes, let's talk about it. So he said, okay. So I get out, go start the painting and decorating business, which goes okay, but it's hard work, hard graft every day, coming back covered in shit and dust, And it just starts, the daily grind starts getting me down, and it's like, doing this for the rest of your life. It's like, no. And then you start getting the, yeah, I can see. And, then people start ringing up, the phone starts ringing, people are saying, oh, we've got this, we've got that, we can do this, come and help us with that, you've got the contacts, blah, blah, blah. And before you know it, you go, it's just that day, isn't there, where you go, do you know what? Fuck it, and you pick up the phone and you make the phone call, and then all the wheels start turning, the cogs, and before you know it, you're in a prison in Ecuador.
In the making of that phone call, then, did you have a particular slang, code words?
Well, at that time I wouldn't talk on the phone.
Yeah.
So it would all be face to face, or we did used to use phone box to phone box sometimes. But even then, we would be really, that would just be to arrange the meeting. We were using pages prior to me getting arrested. Actually, when those guys got arrested in London in '98. At that time, we were using the pages system where someone would send you the number of a telephone box, or we'd send it. We'd get to a telephone box, basically, send the number of the box to a pager, which the guy was carrying. He would then go to another phone box and ring our phone box. So it was phone box to phone box. But the police got wise to that, and they apparently put my voice on voice recognition for the case, the Ecuadorian case, should we call it. So, well, this is what I was told anyway later, that they'd had my voice on voice recognition, and all of the telephone boxes in Gloucestershire area tapped through GCHQ, which is in Cheltenham, just local to me, which is not the best. So make a meeting, go and see my friend and say, let's go up to London, find some Colombians and see what we can arrange, which we did. Went to, I was trying to remember the name of the area, South Kennington. Yeah, so went and met these Colombians, and initially we were just going up there and buying coke from them, and then I said to them, look, why we're actually here is because I want to set up an import. So you guys seem quite cool, we're doing business already, let's knock it up a level and start importing some cocaine. I've got all the people in Britain to sell to. I can get the passengers, take care of logistics here. You take care of that end, get it all arranged at that end, and we'll marry the two up, which is kind of what we did. And unbeknown to me, that I didn't know at that point that they were already bringing it in plastic and rubber. So when they pulled this out in front of me and said, oh, we're already doing it like this, I was like, no way, that's exactly what I had in mind anyway. So it's just like,
how
destiny.
how long did the good times last? And
Not long.
what did you spend your money on?
I mean, good times lasted, I suppose, 2.5, 3 years, something like that. Not long. Which surprised me, to be honest. And it surprised me the amount of attention that the police dedicated or gave us, because we always decided to keep it fairly low key, nothing more than 5 or 6 kilos at a time, which we would then repress up to about 8, something like that, sometimes a bit more. So we weren't making massive inroads into the cocaine market of Britain, and yet I think what really got under their skins was the fact that we were beating all their systems for detecting it and stopping it coming into the country, and that pissed them off, because we kept on going. They knew we knew they were watching us, so it was a cat and mouse game, and I think that really, really annoyed them, because we carried on doing it basically.